Poppy Cooks. I am the Potato Queen and I'm going to be showing you some of my most viral recipes, starting with the caramelised onion and creamy cheese hasselback potato. And this recipe, not only is it from my socials in general, but ding! This is actually from my new book. Look at that. It's the potato book, full of over 100 potato recipes. So, you know, I'm always trying to sell something, guys. It's in here. This is what we're going to make. This beauty. Hasselbacks, they are a Swedish dish, and I'm assuming hassel means like cut or like ridged back. I should probably search this up before I say these things. We'll get a fact check on that. It means hazel slope, which I'm assuming is a mountain or something in Sweden. So there is a mountain in Sweden which is called hazel slope, hence hasselback. I'm glad I learnt about this before I started filming. Anyway, for this potato, I'm going to be using a Maris Piper potato. Quite a large sized one actually, you know, a proper handful. I'd say it's probably about 200, 300 grams of potato, because I'm going to do one per person. If you were in the US, a lot of you say Yukon Gold. I would still say russet, even though they're massive, they're just starchier, and that's similar to the texture and the taste of the Maris Piper in the UK. Move on, Poppy, start doing it. So what I've got is 2 spoons either side of my potato, and I've used the flattest sort of side of the potato on the board, and now I'm going to make my hazel slope ridges into it. So the apparatus either side is to stop the knife going completely through the potato. So it stops you. And you want to use something like wood, because then it's more delicate on your knife and you're not going to damage it. If you use metal, you're going to get that horrible sound. So I make quite thin slices through my potato because I want them to get super crispy and super fluffy inside. And it gives you this lovely texture. My spoon's running away from me. Anyway. It's like a really complicated jacket potato or baked potato, but it looks cool, and you can fill every single little slit with delicious, creamy, cheesy onioniness. I can't do it with spoons. It drives me a little bit crazy. I'd like to just go rogue on it and hope I don't slice through. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. There you have this lovely hazel slope. I can't believe that. Why didn't I learn that before this? But I love that. Hazel slope, hasselback. It's a lovely slope. Once you've got your hasselbacks, your hazel slopes, get them onto a tray. Get a little bit of neutral oil, could be vegetable, sunflower, olive oil, and some fine salt onto them. The salt helps it crisp as well, so does the oil. Just kind of like, you know, fill in the gaps a little bit with it. It makes a wonderful sound when you slap your flaps. It's lovely. What's it called? Fan the ridges. When you fan your ridges, it sounds really nice. That goes straight into the oven at 180 degrees Celsius, which is 350 Fahrenheit, not fan, just the F. Fahrenheit, I think. Yes. So we're going to be making some caramelised onions, bit of a cheat way, because we're going to speed it up a little bit by adding sugar and vinegar to it. Usually if you're making caramelised onions, it takes hours, but ain't nobody got time for that. So this recipe video actually originally got 2.2 million views on TikTok. So I think that's quite big, that's quite viral. Just slice your onions into half moons. Doesn't have to be particularly thin or anything like that. Get your pan onto a medium heat. You want like quite a nice large saucepan. A good drizzle, glug, splash, whatever the chefs want to say, of oil. A neutral oil again, vegetable, sunflower, avocado, light olive oil. Onion slices in. Leave this to cook for around 8 minutes on medium, and then we add in other bits. So come back in 8 minutes. So the onions have had about 8 minutes and you can see they've got this caramelisation on them already. Like I said, I'm speeding this process up. Usually caramelised onions, if you're going to do them like proper, like a chef, they take hours and you keep adding bits of water. It takes ages and ages and ages. But we're going for the cheats way and also a very tasty way. So I've got 100 ml of water. We've got about 2 tablespoons of light brown sugar or golden castor sugar and 4 tablespoons of white wine vinegar to add that bit of like pickly, caramelised onion flavour. Get that into the pan. I mean, you can do it just individually or mix it together, whatever you want. Give it a good mix. So once you've got your vinegar, sugar, water in, you're going to then reduce the heat a little bit to a simmer and then you're going to cook it for about 20 minutes. So you're still getting caramelised onions in a fraction of the time. We're going to make a little garlic butter as well, because what doesn't work really well with potatoes and onions? Garlic butter. So just a couple of cloves of garlic, get them chopped up nice and fine. You can use a little, what's it called? A little mincer, that thing, crusher, that's the one, thank you. But I'm just going to literally just chop through it. And then you mix your garlic with about a rough tablespoon of salted butter, or unsalted, whatever you've got really. A lot of the recipes that I do, just adapt them as what you've got in the fridge. And that's going to sit atop of our hasselback potatoes. Garlic into the bowl. Butter, again, about a heaped rough tablespoon, about 25 grams or so. Just mix that together. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's only going to melt on top of the delicious hasselbacks. Bit of salt and pep. Where's my pepper? And now we wait for the potatoes to be the timer to go off. They're 30 minutes. The onions are caramelising, and that's it. We just wait now. For the creamy cheesy filling to go in our hasselbacks, I've just got plain cream cheese, but you can get, you know, when it's got like herbs already in it, or what else they do? Just don't get the chocolate one, because that would be disgusting. But you could get the garlic one, there's all sorts. Anyway, 2 tablespoons of cream cheese. And I'm just going to throw in a little bit of chopped parsley. Again, not essential if you don't have it, but I like the greenery for health. You know, it looks like we're eating a salad rather than a potato filled with onions and cheese. It's just rough chop. Get that in the bowl. A few thyme leaves, sprigs of thyme. You could use any kind of herbs that you like. You could use tarragon, coriander, parsley, thyme, rosemary, chive, or chevet. Everyone got very upset by my chevet. It's just a joke. Salt and pepper if you need it. I like salt and pepper and everything. And then our caramelised onions, I'm going to use about half of them. You can see now we've got a lovely bit of colour on them. They're all similar colour, they're all cooked. They taste like delicious sugar and onion, which we're just accentuating the natural flavour of onion when you caramelise it. So we're going to get about half of that into here. We do so much because it's a bit of a waste just to do a couple of onions. You don't get a lot, so you serve the rest of it with your hasselback as well. Or airtight container in the fridge, keep it for a few days. Add it into sauces, soups, sides, whatever you fancy. Give this all a mix. And this is going to become our filling for our hazel slub potatoes, which will be coming out of the oven very, very shortly. Hazel slopes are out of the oven. I love it! Hazel slopes. Hasselbacks, they've had half an hour, 180 degrees Celsius, 350 Fahrenheit. Now they're not cooked yet, don't worry, but they are getting their lovely golden shape. They're getting there. Leave them to cool for a little bit if you don't want to burn your fingers, or you could use gloves, or you can be so much more smarter than me and use spoons and utensils. So what you want to do is get a little bit of the filling basically in between each of these lovely ridges that we've made. So just separate them out, because the starch in the potato sticking them together slightly. You don't have to be as anal as I'm going to be and try and fill every single one of them, but it does look good when you do because it really fans them out and they look beautiful. Right, I will begin in a second. I just have to get in between each one. There's something quite satisfying as well about kind of opening up the potato and just seeing how much you can get in there. You don't need to get a lot into each one. Just enough to separate it. It's a labour of love, this. It's a labour of love. Oh, I've got more adventure. Oh, I really went for it on that one. Hang on, here we go. And then, as you'll see in the book itself, you know, because you have to make things look extra pretty in the book, what I do after is I actually wipe down the potatoes so that not any of like the cream cheese is on the outside. That's just me being extra. You know what's probably best? If you come back when I'm fully stuffed and you can see the end result. If you know anything about me and my cooking, you know that it's like a beautiful disaster of delicious mess and chaos. This is exactly what this dish is. So I've stuffed nearly every slip. This one I've got a little bit less just so that you can see the ridges a little bit more. But onion, cheese in the potato. Now we add garlic butter on top. And this is going to help get it crispy. I'm just blobbing it around. It doesn't need to be anything special. And then this goes back into the oven for about another 15, 20 minutes. You can have this. You could have this as like, you know, like how you have a jacket potato or a baked potato and that's like your dinner. This with a little bit of broccoli, I don't know, whatever, your salad. This would be a lovely dinner. Anyway, back into the oven, back in at 180 degrees Celsius, 350 degrees Fahrenheit for 15 to 20 minutes. Funny story about this plate. So when I worked in the bank in JP Morgan, someone came in and was like showing off all their plates and stuff. You know, that people come into like kitchens and go like, oh, use our service plates. Anyway, we had absolutely loads. Not of these, but just loads of general ones. This is a tangent, isn't it? And they left them in the office for absolutely ages. So I did sneak this one, but then they did end up giving away all of the sample plates. So actually, I did them a favour. But it is a lovely looking plate. And I think the darkness of the plate will accentuate the goldenness of the hazel slope potato. Plonk that in the middle. I'm going to leave it like that. Like I said though, we do have, if you're serving this as a dinner, we've got some caramelised onion, we've got a little bit of the filling left as well, and you can kind of just slather that in around the area of the potato and whatever else you want to serve with it. There you go. Caramelised onion, garlic, butter, cream, cheese, hasselback potato. I want to show you the insides of my hassel slope. Delicious. That doesn't actually look as delicious as it actually is. I cut it at probably the worst point. Anyway, you get a couple of slices, get a bit of that. Oh, it's gonna be so ferociously hot. Get ready. For some reason, people get mad at me for eating hot food, but I don't want to wait for it to cool too much. I like it hot. Sweet, caramelised, cheesy, herby, garlicky, potato-y, crunchy deliciousness. Beautiful that. Anyway, don't forget, if you love a potato recipe, then like, subscribe, enjoy my content, but also there is a potato book that's got it's got 101 recipes of mine in here. So you can pre-order that, or order it, buy it.